To me, this is very, very simple. The answer is J.R. Smith. Now, I don't think the Lakers are in a spot where if they don't get one of these guys,
they're doomed.
Yeah, I mean, Troy Daniels was filling that role. And while Troy Daniels is an excellent knockdown three-point shooter, no.
Okay.
He was the last guy off the bench. He and Jared Dudley were alternating for last guy off the bench. And Troy is such a defensive liability that even though he was a knockdown three-point shooter, you can't play him minutes. I think the Lakers have enough as presently constituted to win the title, to be the favorites to win the title. But if you're picking between the two, the only question you need to ask yourself is this. If one of these guys has to play in a high-leverage playoff game, for whom is the moment not going to be too big? And the answer is JR.
Wait, sorry.
Go ahead, Jenna.
Are you asking the question because this is really just about the one missing piece in the playoffs, or getting yourselves to the best position? So this is not a regular season.
They're in the best position. They're the one seed. They're going to be the one seed. If they only played 8 guys the rest of the year, they'd still be the one seed. They're up 6 losses. There's 6 games in the loss column with 20-some to play. They're going to be the one seed. So the only question is, in a playoff series, who's not going to flinch?
What do you think? Someone's going to be nervous? You think Dion would be nervous?
Oh, I think there's a bunch of players in the Lakers' current rotation that are going to be nervous throughout moments of this playoff series.
So wouldn't you want a guy with irrational confidence?
Oh, and Dion Waiters? No. Sometimes.
But if that's what we're talking about, nerves, and this guy has literally no nerves. That's his whole brand.
Yeah, but that can hurt you in the other direction. Is a guy, the irrational confidence guy who thinks this is supposed to be my shot. This is supposed to be my time. When I went to Syracuse, Vinny, I wasn't there when Dion was there, obviously, but when Dion first got interviewed by a student reporter at Syracuse University, freshman year there, do you have a nickname? He said, yeah, they call me Kobe Wade because I have a combination of those two guys. And that's been who
How can you not love this guy? How can you not love him?
That's fine. If I have to trust with one of these guys, Lakers are in a bad spot already if their 14th guy on the roster is playing in a playoff game. It means someone has been hurt. It means there's been horrible foul trouble. JR is a guy who is not going to flinch. JR is the guy I would want.
A lot can happen in 2 years. And when you're in year 16, 15, whatever, basically 16 for J.R. Smith, I don't know how much tread there's left on those tires. J.R. Smith has been out there, and plenty of playoff teams with championship aspirations has had the chance to pick him up until this point. And they have Rich Paul's number. They have JR's number. They haven't called him. So to say that all of a sudden he's
maybe there's a little LeBron influence there, right?
So LeBron's telling JR, hold off until March. We're going to come pick you up.
Look, it worked with us. I trust you. I know you.
Ben, right?
If that's
the Lakers are just the perfect fit.
In what way? In what way are they the perfect fit because he knows how to operate on a LeBron James run team?
Yes.
If that's the case, so be it. But if I need you to produce to the point where I'm working out 2 different guys and I have an obvious deficiency in my roster in terms of playoff experience and shot creation outside of LeBron James, there's 2 players. One guy has playoff experience, but we don't know if he can play. One guy can create his own shot, but we don't know how he fits in the team construct. I don't think either option is necessarily great, and this is why I think the Lakers should have done a little bit more at the trade deadline to shore things up. You can be 6 games up in an 82-game season and be in perfect position, but your roster deficiencies are your roster deficiencies, and I do think you have to lessen the load on how much you depend on LeBron James in the last quarter of this season.
You know when you're in the finals, there's that weird game? There's always that one weird game. It's like
the Mike Miller game.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Couldn't you, if you close your eyes, couldn't you see a Dion Waiters game? If it's like
well,
Bucks.
You are high on Dion Waiters.
I could also see a J.R. Smith guy. I'm not going to argue because
I saw a J.R.
I like them both. Yes, exactly. So I think if I'm a Bucks fan, I could see, and here comes Dion Waiters off the bench. I'd be like, oh no, Dion Waiters. This is going to be the Dion Waiters game in the finals. Dion Waiters is going to send us home. I could see the same thing with JR. I like them both.
The flip
Not
side
arguing. I know I'm supposed to. I don't like one of these guys.
The flip side is you could also see in the NBA Finals the Lakers up 5 with 1.5 minutes left in the first quarter, and Dion Waiters comes in, and all of a sudden the Bucks are up 2. Because Dion said, it's this is going to be the Dion Waiters game.
Oh, that's interesting.
And it's not actually going to be the Dion. I trust JR. I understand JR has had an embarrassing moment on the court, an embarrassing moment off the court, his most recent stint with the Cavs. I get it. But we also have the highest leverage situation in sports, Game 7s. How's JR been in the last 3 Game 7s he's played in? Can we show it? And I don't even care about the points. I care about the minutes. Game 7 NBA Finals, 39 minutes. Game 7 in 2018, 35 minutes. Game 7 in 2018 at Boston in a game they won by single digits. 42 minutes and they're plus 14 with him on the court. All 3 of those games he hit 3 threes. All 3 of those games he had big spots that you know if he has to play in round 2, it's not going to be too much.
This should overshadow the clock issue.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jenna.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe because you ran out of space, there were 2 stats, there were issued lines on there that there were no stats for. Do we have that? We have the other full screen that we show the most important stats when it comes to JR?
What's that?
And we don't. And that worked out really well for me.
What was it?
Soup throwing, clock mismanagement. Would have worked better with a full screen. It was much funnier when I planned it. Those are the 2 things we remember, the most recent things about J.R. Smith.
Yeah, listen.
You talk about him being so big in big pressured games and big pressured situations. What if the guy comes in and forgets where we are with time? Oh, my bad.
Yeah, listen, it's a bad moment. I mean, there's no denying it. It's a bad moment. The best thing that could have ever happened to JR, other than George Hill make the free throw, would have been nice. George Hill makes the free throw.
Oh my gosh, we're playing George Hill now.
Well, it's nice to be make a free throw to win a game. But the worst thing that ever happened to him is that he bodied Kevin Durant for the rebound. If Kevin Durant just gets the rebound as a 7-footer, nobody blames JR for that. But yeah, it's a bad moment for him. That to me, and I understand he threw soup at my buddy Damon Jones, and I love Damon. I've known Damon for a long time.
And you love soup.
You shouldn't have thrown soup at him. But to me, that does not overshadow the rest of his career. And I don't want to kill Dion, but Dion's had a far more recent rough go of things, from being suspended for Instagramming from a boat when he called in sick to work, to, I mean, he got the Heat
oh my
suspended
gosh!
him for
Don't
a
tell me he
total of
was
17
having
games this year.
Gummy bears as well.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm not going to kill a guy for eating edibles.
One guy throws soup, the other guy has some edibles. Like, we are not.
Are you saying that Dion Waiters, even from a talent standpoint, is not redeemable or worth the ceiling on it?
I'm not saying he's not a redeemable player. I'm absolutely not saying that. I am saying, to me, I wouldn't test it out in the Western Conference Finals. I would. You know, a team like Memphis, that he was part of the trade and they bought him out. Hell, Memphis is going for a playoff spot, so maybe they're a bad example. A team right now like Detroit is the type of team that should take a flyer on Dion Waiters. A team like the Knicks, we saw last night.
You would inflict my hometown on Dion Waiters?
Okay.
Like, you just don't like us at all, huh?
No, Dion needs the spotlight.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.